Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another Dragonheir video. Today I want to talk about artifacts. So I don't really have a tier list or anything like that, but I just want to go through all of the artifacts and talk about my experience with them, what type of heroes I'm using, what artifacts on, all that good stuff. So first of all, let me just go through kind of which ones I'm using. Now, most of them are going to be legendary artifacts. I'm using basically only legendary and epic artifacts. So on Hivitar, she's a really hard-hitting ultimate. Again, now we can see multipliers. So she's got a 640% cold damage. So for my Hivitar, I am personally using this Eyeball of the Giant. It gives her a lot of attack, and it gives her 20% damage bonus on her ultimate. So I've seen her ultimate hit for like 120,000, so really good for her. I have a decent chunk of crit damage and attack as well on her. So this is one of my favorite purple artifacts. I just want to go through kind of my main characters first, and then I'll move on to going through the rest of the artifacts. I'll go through the epic ones, I'll go through the blue ones, the legendary ones, etc. So, okay, so this is my Oster, and he is using the Frost legendary one. The legendary artifacts require duplicates. The Frost specific ones requires a Frost dupe and another dupe to purchase. I'm sorry, just a Frost dupe to purchase, and then the exclusive ones require 2 dupes to purchase, so they can get kind of expensive. I'll show you some in the shop as well in a little bit, but now I got the fire exclusive one on my Eric. It does crit damage and a higher chance for wild, so that's a good one. On my Felicity, I am using the purple one, this horseshoe. It gives attack speed. Felicity is really good with attack speed and crit rate. I need to redo her gear. I haven't done it in a while. I've done a lot of gear farming, so we got to redo those in a second here. So my tonal, I call him tonal because tonal nan is kind of a weird name. I've been using this one on him. It just kind of boosts my other ranged heroes in that wild team. And it just gives itself a big attack bonus. So that one's pretty good for legendary as well. This is my Elekabri. I use her kind of for PvP, and this just kind of reduces the cooldown of the battle skill and gives her some resistance. Another good one for her is probably this one right here, Skill Haste and Initial Energy for PvP. This one is really good for her, so those are some good options for her. My tanks, I usually run my tanks with the Witch's Remains. It gives defense down on the boss, actually AoE if they're AoE, and it gives a big chunk of accuracy. So you want your tank to have really high accuracy so you can use taunt, and you can also put things like attack down and whatever else debuffs. Berengar has another defense that, another debuff that basically reduces the energy regen of the boss. So I really like this one for bosses because the bosses can go quite fast and take a lot of turns. Yeah, okay, that's pretty much it for my main heroes now, and I guess this is the other one. I already showed you that one, and who do I have that on? Here we go. And there's this other one right here, this horn that basically gives it gives a damage bonus to anyone after they get healed. So those are kind of my favorite artifacts in the game. Now let me just go through some of the other ones that I think are pretty good. So I've gone through basically all of these. I haven't really leveled this one up yet, but this is kind of summon specific. So you got like a couple different categories, right? You start with the rare ones. Now out of all the rare ones, let me just talk about which ones I like. This one just gives you kind of a chunk of HP with some resistance and defense. Now I just use this just because the blue ones sometimes, you know, they are cheaper to level up, the blue ones, than the purple, than the legendary, right? The blue are the cheapest to level up, so it's easier to get them to higher levels, but obviously the stats and all that aren't as good. You can see that directly. So if this is resistance and defense, you can see 180 defense, and this one only gives me 90, right? Obviously it's a little bit more leveled up, but you get the point. Okay, accuracy. I don't like the increases the wearer's success rate of inflicting buffs or debuffs. I don't really like these artifacts. There's a lot of them. I feel like most of the heroes have a 100% chance to land debuffs, and buffs are always a 100% chance. So I don't really like these. There's a couple different ones. Let me find them. Like here's the undead one, or whatever it is, necrotic. This one is for lightning. You know, it just says increases the success rate of buffs. Aren't all buffs 100%? So it's just kind of weird to me. I don't know why you'd ever use this one. Here's a frost one as well. But if you look at most of the heroes, maybe it's just legendary heroes. I don't know. Let's look at some of the rare heroes. Do they have like a lower chance to place debuffs? I guess maybe poisoners, this might be useful. I mean, 100%. I don't know. I don't know. That one I'm just not a big fan of. I don't really see the use in those. So I kind of just ignore those completely. So, okay. Now, as far as all the good blue ones, this one has attack and attack speed. So if it's like someone like Felicity, you could use this one if you don't have any of the purple ones yet. This one also just gives attack and damage bonus to the ultimate. I think these two are decent. Definitely. I like the HP one. This one is okay if you're in a healer. If you have a healer who needs enlightenment and that healer also needs to place debuffs, this will give you some accuracy and it'll give you some enlightenment to boost the heals. Also, this works good with poisoners. Poisoners need accuracy to land it, and poisoners also gain damage based on enlighten. So that's a decent one there. This one is decent as well. Kind of weird because it gives you crit damage and HP, but nonetheless, this is one of the other decent blue ones. If you have a damage dealer and you just need some extra crit damage, you can use something like this. Now, for epics, this one is really good. If you're trying to do something like Vortex, where you're trying to beat a boss and you're trying to do as much damage in a long fight, I think something like this is going to be very good. It gives you the accuracy because these do need accuracy to land. If you're placing a debuff, you need accuracy, even if the debuff is coming from an artifact. So since it has accuracy on it, that's kind of good. When you level this up, you've got a big chunk of accuracy. But this only works on one target. The legendary one up here works on all targets, and it's a bigger defense penalty. They do not stack. The bigger one always overwrites the smaller one. The only reason you would use two is if you're trying to keep up the uptime, but you'd have to stagger cooldowns and whatever, so that's kind of a pain. This Night Shield I really like. It reduces AoE damage. There's a lot of AoE damage in some of these fights, boss fights, all that stuff, so I think this is quite a good one, and it gives HP % with some flat defense. This is a really good tank one. I really like that one. This is basically... The reason I don't like this one is because it says this skill only takes effect once during a period, and they don't define the period. It could be 1 year, it could be 1 second, and we don't know, so I will never use it because it's... You know, I guess I could test it out, but it's just kind of annoys me that they don't say the cooldown. It frickin' annoys me. They did change some of the descriptions and stuff to be more detailed, so hopefully they go a little bit more. This one I tried a little bit. It's just okay. This one just kind of reduces your cooldown because basically when you use your ultimate, you get 10% of your cooldown back. I talked about this one, just recharges your battle skill faster and gives you some resistance. This one is decent as well. Attack speed, again, if you're using a hero that really benefits from attack speed, like Oster or Felicity, or I can't think off the top of my head for rares or epics who this would benefit, but just gives you a chunk of crit rate, some attack speed, and some attack, so not bad there. This is a chance of getting enlightenment. It gives you accuracy as well. This might be decent in someone like a poisoner or maybe even a healer that also places debuffs. I don't use it that much, but that one's still pretty decent. Crit damage, this is the one I was talking about for Felicity. This one is probably the best purple one for her. This one also is decent, but this one is pretty good. It gives a big chunk crit damage, and it gives you 50% extra attack speed. 50%, that's a lot. So yeah, that one's pretty good. Heals the wearer when you get a kill. I don't see that being that useful. Extra attack when their HP is below 50% again, and it has a cooldown, so I would never use this. Like, what's the cooldown? Is it 1 year? Is it a 1 year? You use it one time and then you have to wait till next season? We don't know. So I don't like those. The wearer gains 10% damage bonus when they have a shield. This one is kind of nice because it has crit rate. There's not a lot of artifacts that have crit rate, so if you want to build crit damage gloves on the hero and you want to get crit rate, and then if you're using shield heroes in your team, this one might be pretty solid. Kind of depends on your team comp. You need a shield and you're getting crit rate here, so you probably want to use something like crit damage gloves so that you can get really high damage. I talked about this one. This is one of my favorite purple ones. Whereas passive skill gains bonus. There's not many heroes that you can scale that have a passive that deals damage, so this one's kind of weird. A lot of these you don't know when they're going to apply, and they need a ridiculous amount of testing to even see if they work, so I just stay away from the ones. I try to keep the ones that I know work and they have simple bonuses that, yeah, okay. Attack and increase damage of your battle skill. This one is decent for, you know, damage dealers. It has the attack with more attack, so not a bad choice. Again, I don't like any of these that increase the chance for buffs or debuffs. I don't think any of these are good. I don't see the point in them. Comment below if you've used any of these and what heroes you're trying to increase the chance for them to inflict buffs. Because I don't, or debuffs. I don't really see the use that much. Okay. I've kind of already went through all these for the most part. And let me just kind of finish out the last couple that I don't have so far. So if we go to, ooh, not there. That's not what we want. We click the star. If you click the exchange, and here's your artifact shop. So obviously these are exclusive ones. You need 2 dupes for these. These are all going to be really good, but you need that hero and another copy of that hero, so they're really hard to get. Now, of the ones I don't have, this one's interesting. So take 30%, when they take damage, there's 30% chance of bursting, dealing damage, and reducing the damage they deal. Has a big chunk of flat HP with defense %, so that'd be a good tank one. This one is kind of interesting. When the wearer's HP is fully restored, they gain an additional shield. It gives skill haste. You probably use this in someone like a tank, I would think, who's getting hit a lot. So every time they get healed to top, then they're going to get an additional shield. So that's kind of cool. What else was another good one? This is kind of a better one of the battle skill recharge time that I was using earlier. So I don't know who exactly would use that on. We have this lightning one that I'll probably purchase because I do have a dupe for lightning. But basically, this is for Dauntless. So if you have a Dauntless hero that's really strong, they like basic attacks. So you're going to use that on Dauntless heroes. This one is for Rally. Obviously, it says right here, you know, get a damage bonus when you have a successful Rally spellcasting. So that one's pretty cool. This one right here for basically if you have a lot of melee and you're trying to also buff their damage, you can use this on them. Gives them attack and it gives them, you know, damage bonus per melee hero. This one is good if you're using a poisoner. So you need a poison dupe for it. So yep, that's that. And this one's kind of weird, just kind of blocks, gains invincibility. This one might be cool for PvP maybe, might be cool for tanks. What does this one do? Chance of increases their ultimate energy after unleashing an ultimate. So this one is kind of like having cooldown. It has accuracy, so I don't know who exactly I would use that on. But yeah, and then this is debuff immunity, control immunity for 10 seconds. You could use this on someone like a Cilia if they're getting CC'd before they're able to put their block debuffs or something. You could use it maybe in PvP. I don't see any other purpose for those. So, okay, that's pretty much all of the artifacts in the game. I also want to give a shout out. Okay, that's going to be pretty much it for the video for artifacts. I just kind of wanted to review all the artifacts after I've used them for quite some time and just kind of tell you which ones I like, which ones I'm gravitating towards, which ones I think are good, which ones I don't think are good. I might make a tier list over time to kind of put the artifacts in, but I also have a shout out for a viewer. So one of my viewers asked me to give him a shout out. He published this book. I have a few copies that I can give away free on Audible. If you are into literary RPG, it's kind of like basically like a role-playing game mixed with gaming, mixed with real life, mixed with fantasy, dragons, and all that kind of stuff. If you're really into that, in order to get a copy of it, all I want you to do is join my Discord. Let me show you real quick. So join my Discord, come down to Dragonheir and just put a message in here saying you know, you want a copy of it. The first 5 people who put a message in here saying they want a free copy, you'll get it. And there'll be a link in the description if you want to go check it out. It's on Audible and some other sources. So I'll put that on there. He asked me to give him a shout out. So that's gonna be it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And go check out his link below if you're interested in that genre of books. Pretty cool. I think it fits pretty well with this channel and the audience of this channel. You got to definitely be into that type of thing to enjoy something like that. I did start listening to the first couple hours of it, and it's pretty good so far. The narrator's pretty interesting, so that's pretty cool. All right, that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like and the subscribe button. Have a great day, everyone. See you guys.